What's going on, you guys? It is Fatal. Welcome to my review of Super Mario Odyssey. Brand new, exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. This is the reason I purchased my Nintendo Switch back in March. Not Zelda, which was also amazing, but this, Super Mario. I love open world Super Mario games without time limits. They are my absolute favorite platformers in the world. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy. Three of my absolute all-time favorite games. So when they finally announced a would-be successor to Super Mario Galaxy 2 in Super Mario Odyssey, well, you can bet your ass I was pretty invested. But is it any good? First off, the story is pretty familiar. Bowser wants Peach, although this time he wants to marry her, and the whole idea behind his reason for capturing her is to marry her, and your job is to pursue Bowser and Peach as he makes off with certain kingdoms' special treasures, such as a wedding dress, a bouquet, and even soup. Every 3D Super Mario game has had a gimmick for the last several releases. Super Mario 64's gimmick was his different hats doing different abilities. Super Mario Sunshine had FLUDD. Super Mario Galaxy had the star sprites. Well, Super Mario Odyssey brings Cappy, the spirit of a hat from the Hat Kingdom, who's looking for his sister, who just happens to be Peach's tiara. Shortly after meeting Cappy, you embark on an adventure to pursue Bowser in the Odyssey, a junker of a ship that you are going to slowly repair by getting power stars. Power moons. The more power moons you collect, the more kingdoms open up for you to explore and to continue your pursuit of Bowser. Cappy is an interesting addition to the tried and true Super Mario format in that he can be used to smash obstacles, stun enemies, and even possess certain characters. That's right, now you can throw your hat on a Goomba and become a Goomba, or even become 10 Goombas, 14 Goombas, it doesn't matter, sky's the limit. Well, actually the number of Goombas in the immediate area is the limit. But there's more than just Cappy to be found in terms of what's new in this particular Super Mario game. You know how you've spent years and years collecting coins because of high scores? Well, it seems to have finally occurred to Nintendo that these coins could be used to actually buy things. They could be money. So what would you buy in a Super Mario game? Well, I suppose you could buy the odd moon, or you could buy, alternate costumes. That's what it's all about. Each world has a pair of themed costumes for you to purchase if you can find the local currency. These are always purple and take the shape of what would be considered a theme for the kingdom you're in. Get enough of them and you can purchase everything, including little decorations to put in the Odyssey. Very nifty. But your coins are your everything. It will not take you long to collect a lot of coins, but you're gonna need them. Every death is gonna cost you 10, and every costume and moon you purchase in the beginning stages is gonna be quite pricey at 100 to 150 a pop. The now infamous boxer shorts Mario is 1,000 coins, which won't take you too long to get to, but when you're first starting, it can seem like a pretty high cost, especially since you might be dying a lot and regularly losing your coins. Speaking of dying a lot, the difficulty of Super Mario games has always been something of an enigma. Whereas I personally found some of the later stars in Super Mario 64 to be really difficult, and the same goes for the later shines in Super Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy was very easy. I managed to get through the whole game without a single game over, and that includes going back through and getting the other stars as Luigi. I 100%ed that game without a single game over screen, and that's not good enough for a Mario game, as fantastic as that game is. So I was hoping Odyssey was going to crank up the difficulty. To my disappointment, no, Odyssey is probably the easiest 3D Mario game yet. Boss fights will not challenge you in the slightest. Every level is designed in such an easy and accessible way. Very few things are going to catch you off guard, and very few enemies are going to be genuinely threatening. Especially given that the really dangerous ones can be possessed and then turned into a weapon for you. I don't want to say the game is too easy, but the main campaign by a reasonably skilled platformer to a moderately skilled platformer will probably only take about 10 to 15 hours, if that. But that's okay, because there's great replay value here in that you will have to find a hell of a lot more moons if you want to find all the best endgame content and secrets when everything is over. While I may have completed the campaign on only 160 stars, there's so much more to do. So many secrets left to discover, so many more moons to collect, so many more outfits to unlock. There's a lot more to do. The end of the game, to some people, will be the beginning of the game, which is good because one of the other things that's a little bit disappointing is that this is probably the smallest collection of worlds that a 3D Mario game has offered in quite some time. When you consider how many different planets you could go to in Super Mario Galaxies 1 and 2, how many different graffitis you could jump into in Super Mario Sunshine, and how many pictures you could jump into in Super Mario 64, it seems like a pretty paltry amount of worlds to go into. Don't get me wrong, they're fleshed out worlds with many varying objectives for you to pursue and lots of hidden moons for you to find, some of them staples in that you'll need to get them in order to progress, and other ones bonuses for you to collect as you work towards all your endgame content. But there are some additional worlds to be unlocked, and there's an amazing post-credit throwback to Super Mario 64 that I can't bring myself to spoil. But probably the most important question in any Super Mario game comes down to this. Is it fun? Well, I'm delighted to say that even though I did find it a little bit easy, yes, Super Mario Odyssey is a blast. It's atmospheric, it's charming, it's everything that you want a 3D open-world Super Mario game to be. The costumes are delightful, some of the things you get up to are just too whimsical and too zany for words to even describe. There's so much to do here, so many costumes to collect, so many coins to defy death as you try and retrieve them. There's a lot to do for completionists, and it'll take a very long time to do everything. Beating the main campaign, again, only the beginning. There's so much fun to be had here. And if I'm being honest, as a follow-up to some of my favorite games, this is a stellar addition to the Nintendo Switch. If you have a Nintendo Switch, do I think you need to run out and buy this right now? Well, to be honest, if you have a Nintendo Switch, you already bought it, because it's Super Mario. And Super Mario Odyssey is what sold us on the Switch in the first place. At least it was for me. Now that we have it, I can say that it was worth the wait. Again, a little easy, and fewer worlds than I would have liked, but what we do get is fantastic. The controls are touch-tight, fantastically optimized, and even though the camera gets in your way sometimes, most of your deaths will be your own error rather than the camera. There's so much creativity here, so much passion went into this game, and it's a delight for me to involve myself in this kind of vision of gaming. This is what being a gamer is all about. Super Mario Odyssey. It's an absolute delight. Thank you guys so much for checking out my review of Super Mario Odyssey. I hope you guys are playing the game as we speak. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I have. I really do think this is the real deal. I really do think the wait was worth it. Again, little bit easy, but that doesn't take away from the charm, and you will get so addicted to finding just one more moon. Just one more moon. Super Mario Odyssey is an absolute star for the Nintendo Switch. Jump in the air indeed.